Let's look at multiplication of positive and negative integers. We see here a question, -5 times -7. So a negative times a negative. And when we have a negative multiplied by a negative, it creates a positive. So in this case, -5 times -7 gives us positive 35. Now it's always worthwhile with these questions to put the positive in. We know that if we just write 35, it also equals 35. But when you're dealing with positive and negative, it's always nice to make sure that you're checking to make sure you've got the right positive or negative symbol there. Okay, let's have a look at this one here where we have a negative number multiplied by a positive and a negative multiplied by a positive equals a negative, okay? So these rules work the same for multiplication as they did with addition and subtraction, where we had negative times a negative or a positive times a positive gives you a positive. And here we have a negative times a positive or a positive times a negative will give you that negative. So here -6 times +9 equals 6 times 54. And the negative times the positive gives you a negative equals -54. Okay, sometimes we have questions where we have multiple parts to it, and in this case we just need to work left to right across this because there is no BODMAS element to this in terms of having to do anything else other than completing the multiplication elements. So 4 times 3 is 12, and a positive times a negative is a negative, so -12. Okay, and I like to just note take on my work as I go by so that I'm keeping track of it, and also gives the teacher information about that. So then -12 times by -1, so a negative times by a negative gives you a positive outcome, so that will equal +12.